The self-belief of the ardent Brexiter. I'm Mike Cashman. If you find what I'm saying interesting, please subscribe to the channel, Britannia Waves the Rules, buy the satirical books and music, and you may see elsewhere, I've got a special offer until December the 12th. If you buy 2 CDs, I will throw in for free Brexit's musical trick, the paperback, with the full lyrics of the musical and many more satirical songs besides. You don't have to do anything extra to do that, just buy the 2 CDs before December the 12th. But the self-belief of the ardent Brexiter. This struck me a number of characteristics that are sometimes displayed by ardent Brexiters. Now, in describing them all, I'm not saying that they all apply to any particular Brexiter or even any particular ardent Brexiter, but I am going to describe some characteristics which I've thought are quite remarkable. So one of them is the taking it upon themselves to speak for all Brexiters. So I know what people who voted Leave wanted, and I'm going to tell you, Mike. I'm drawing here examples from comments on my videos. I will bring in 1 or 2 other examples as well. And I think that's extraordinary to think that you can speak for 17 million people. I speak for nobody except myself. I'll give you my own opinions. You're welcome to give me your alternative views. So, yeah, we have this tendency to believe that they can speak for all Brexiters, but also sometimes to declare quite specific beliefs that one would have thought are not necessarily common to all Brexiters at all. I was amused by, it was a little while ago on Question Time, Charles Moore said, oh, the BBC is biased, here's this panel, and I'm the only Brexiter on the panel. At which point, James Brokenshire, government minister who'd been arguing for what was then the government deal for Brexit, said, what are you talking about? I've been advocating for Brexit throughout this programme. And Charles Moore said, no, but you weren't originally a Brexiter, so I'm not counting you as a Brexiter. So in terms of those who were arguing for Brexit, he's narrowing it down to, the particular, perhaps group wanting a hard Brexit, but also then abrogating the entire 17 million who voted for Brexit and saying, I speak for all of them. So that comment by Charles Moore is very similar to what I heard on the channel. I've referred in another video to the comment on my channel, Brexit was not an economic project. So in other words, don't start talking about economics. And in interactions on that, I got the comment from a Brexit supporter, any cost is acceptable for Brexit. I find that rather strange. How can you say that something that, you want and millions of other people wanted, but not all the country did, that any cost at all is acceptable to achieve that? There's also, in some cases, not all, a tendency to self-importance. Perhaps that's speaking for all Brexiters. It's an indication of that. But an inclination to try and dictate what should happen next on this channel. What you need to do now, Mike, is, look, it's fairly straightforward. This is my channel. I choose what to say on it. I said earlier, these are my opinions. If you want to choose what goes on a YouTube channel, you set one up. Seems fairly straightforward to me. And a particular behaviour that I've seen, again, not from all, this is really just from 1 or 2, but is in seeking to amplify their comments. So, let's say we have an interaction. I wrote a poem, This Septic Isle, and this is a satirical parody of some verses in Richard II, spoken by a John of Gaunt character, starting this Septic Isle, in which John of Gaunt is very positive about his country, but ends up saying, oh dear, what a pretty pass it's come to. So it was an obvious potential target for bringing up to date and saying what a pretty pass the UK has come to. Now, some people didn't appreciate that, didn't understand that. Fair enough, they may not have understood the original Shakespeare, so that may have passed them by. So there were one or two comments about, oh, why do you hate this country, Mike? Which I explained in response. That wasn't the case, and in fact put a longer comment on to explain the Shakespeare, the use I'd made of it, and what the poem meant. But behaviour by some ardent Brexiters, well, one actually in this particular case, but similar behaviour by other people at other times, of thinking that their comment is the most important one that everybody should listen to. So, make the criticism about the poem, raise the question, I respond to it, you would think that was that. But then that viewer, that commenter, then chooses to put the same question. I got criticised for saying cut and paste, so yeah, okay, maybe typed it all out again, I don't know. But the same comment on lots of other videos that were nothing to do with, where the comment had absolutely nothing to do with the video. And I was trying to think, what is this behaviour like? It's a little bit like perhaps making a comment in social media and then, if you were allowed to, hitting like on it loads of times in order to make out that it is more significant than it is. We've had the interaction, I've responded, let's put that away and let's look at the next video. But no, there was somebody else, I think, where I happened to mention empty shelves, who was convinced that he or she, a lot of these people are anonymous, had the answer to my comment because they wanted to say that they'd seen a picture of empty shelves in Brussels and in a Brussels supermarket, and therefore that disproved any question about empty shelves in Britain being a problem. Now, as it turned out, somebody else commented that these empty shelves in Brussels were because there was a particular localised strike. So the picture would have meant very little, but actually meant nothing at all. But the person who put the comment then stuck the comment onto every comment thread, of which there were about 20 or 30 on that video. So it's like, here, I've got this wonderful point. You have to take account of it. And here, you have to take account of it again. You have to take account of it again, putting it on 20 or 30 times. And the repetition, while I don't think it's actually against YouTube standards, doesn't really achieve anything. It just kind of makes the point that, hey, you seem to be, in a way, shouting about this as if you expect people to take more account of it than content of the comment actually merits, but desperately trying to call for attention. In that particular case where it was exactly the same comment multiple times, then, had it removed, because that just gets in the way of sensible dialogue. I'm not saying that, shall we say, disrespectful behaviour is uniquely the province of those who advocate for Brexit. Yeah, I know that can be on all sides of the argument. I'm not here to defend loads of other people. I'll be accountable for what I say. So there we are, a few examples that I have seen, typically by more than one person, of the self-belief of the ardent Brexiter. Believing that they speak for everybody, believing that they can dictate what should be happening, and believing that their comment is the most important thing that everybody should take note of. If this gives you any cause for reflection, well, perhaps it was worth making the video. If not, if you're looking at this and saying, yep, I do all those things and I'm proud of it, well, there we are. At least there's the opportunity to be aware that it has been noticed. I'm Mike Cashman, and don't forget, if you don't like my stuff, this will not be relevant to you, but if you do, then if before December the 12th you buy 2 CDs, Brexit's a Musical Trick and I Don't Beg Pardon, I'm talking specifically about the CD product, you can buy one of them twice if you want, then you don't have to do anything else, just make that purchase on Amazon or Etsy and I will throw in Brexit's a Musical Trick, the paperback. There we are. That's an offer for you up till December the 12th. Thank you.